Who do we have with us today?
We have this young gentleman that hails from New York, and he has produced Keith Wonderboy Johnson, and he's in a group that's doing some great things. None other than our brother from the East Coast, Jarod Romain. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show with Dr. LT and Robert O'Dean.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Man, we are blessed. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm just a little tired, but I'm doing good other than that.
Yes, and this is a blessing to have him because LT, he didn't want to interview before.
Well. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Right.
You are here with us, and
Right.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna start off right off the bat. I got three things I need to discuss with you.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Number one, I noticed that you got a couple of lids on the wall. Is your lid game as tight as your tennis shoe game, or your sneaker game?
Yeah.
Okay, because you know, in New York, we can't even call them tennis shoes in New York. If you don't call them sneakers, then they talk about you.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you must be from the West Coast.
Yeah, because
you said tennis shoes. You know, you got to say sneakers. You know what I'm saying?
Sneakers.
And you got to say it a certain
Okay,
way.
and what's another name for sneakers?
Tennis shoes.
Besides that, has been another name. There's always more than two.
I don't know.
Kicks. They
Kicks?
say kicks nowadays.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so here's my other thing, and this is a point of information. I'm flying into New York City. I want to go to a small jazz club and eat and have a good meal. Where do I go?
I would say you probably best to find somewhere like in Harlem or like Lower Town, like Manhattan, somewhere like down in that area, because there's so much like different type of events that they have on the daily regular. So I'll check out somewhere in Manhattan.
All right.
Manhattan.
I appreciate that, my friend. Now let's get down to who is this young man that we have
Jarod
here.
Romain. Who is Jarod Romain?
All right. Well, I'm a singer slash producer slash musician slash mix engineer slash. I pretty much do it all. And I was born and raised in New York. My birthday's October 7th, and I was raised in church. I started out in church, at my home church, being the drummer. Then I went from the drummer, then being the organist, and then I went from being the organist to producing and things like that. And I'm just grateful for the things that God has did for me so far, man. I'm young, but God is blessing me so much, man. I'm just excited, bro.
Yes, it's like everybody starts on the drums. The people
All the time.
that keep the beat, keep everything together.
Well,
Right, all the time.
let me just start off by saying it that
what?
that the drums, and especially in the Kojic church, normally the church bought the drum set, and all the parents had to do is buy the sticks.
Right.
So it was a little bit more
That's
cheaper to have your kid play the drums than to have them play the keyboard or the bass or whatever. So
Right.
they're like, give that boy some sticks and let him play. And we thank God that you could keep time, because there's so many parents that will give their kids them sticks,
Oh, Lord.
and the choir be all off beat, and everything.
And it drives you crazy
Right.
because you got to smile and encourage a young person.
Go on, baby, play them drums for Jesus.
You want to say, get a
Right.
tambourine or something.
So brother, growing up in New York, let's talk about your experience of growing up in New York, because everybody got this real gully story about how they grew up in New York. How was growing up in New York for you?
It was challenging because living in New York, you got to deal with a lot of gangs. There's a lot of peer pressure, and if you're not if you don't act like the normal kid that get fly, hang out with the popular people, you're considered a cornball, quote or lame. So when I was coming up, I was always into music. I was around those type of people, but I always kept my distance. Everybody knew how I was. It was yeah, that's Jarod. That's the church boy. He played the piano at the drums, bass at the church. Don't mess with him. He's a lame. They used to call me that. But now when I look around, all the people that used to call me that, they're either dead, in jail, they walking around looking crazy, no college degrees, nothing. So pretty much living up here, it's kind of challenging, but it's actually a learning experience. If you can live in New York, you can pretty much live anywhere, man.
If you can
Seriously.
make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Okay, so
Anywhere.
let me
Especially
ask
in
you a question,
California.
brother. I went to New York one time in the dead of winter, and there's two places I don't like being in wintertime. One is Chicago, and the other is in New York.
Absolutely.
And there's two places, or one place I don't like to be in the summertime, and that is in Arizona. So my question to you is this. How is it that I was in New York in the dead of winter with my two California winter coats on, hat, scarf, and everything, and I saw young women out there in high heels, legs showing, and everything with a little cute jacket just to cover up that. How do they do that?
I'll be asking the same thing because it's like even like when you go out on the weekends in the wintertime, you see that all the time. You see women with the little dress on and it's like, 10 degrees outside. They like, I'm warm, knowing they freezing. So to be honest, I don't know how they do that. I always raise the question to myself about that every single time. So it's like
They be trying to look cute.
I don't know.
I'll be like sitting up. I know your toes is cold, besides your
Definitely,
leg.
man.
I know that you can't feel your feet, but okay,
Right.
Now here's my next question. Growing up in New York, what is the craziest thing you ever seen on the subway?
Oh Lord. This might be a little bit too rated R, but I seen somebody get high on the train, as far as the big seat, like with the pipe and stuff,
Just
and that kind of disturbed me a little bit.
That's a bold
Yeah.
spirit.
See.
I seen a lot of stuff up here. You'll see anything, man.
Yeah, I'll be like sit up there using the church finger. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the next cart.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That thing, it kind of disturbed me, man.
So what attracted you to music?
Okay, to be honest, my family, because Keith Wonderboy Johnson is my mom's first cousin, which make me and him second cousins.
Right.
So my family's church is where my grandfather was the pastor. So that's where Bishop Darrell McFadden came out of. You had like people like the Singing Stars coming out of there. Like a lot of quartet people came out of my home church in New York. So I was just around a lot of, great gospel, a lot of music. So it was just in front of me, and I just fell in love with it. So I was just like, I don't see myself doing anything else but music. So that's how, I fell in love with it. When I was little, I used to watch a lot of gospel tapes from like my church, a lot of gospel choirs, like the Mississippi Mass Choir, like all that stuff. It motivated me to just want to do music.
So, if you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing?
To be honest, I probably think I'll be doing some graphic designs because that's the second hobby of mine. I really love graphic design. And a lot of people don't know that about me. I love graphic design. I do it on the low. Nobody knows that I do it, but I love graphic design. So yeah, if I wasn't into music, I'll be a top graphic designer by God's will.
So
man.
you're just creative because I'm hearing all this
Yeah.
creativity, and it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. Let's talk about that group you're in that just came. You just came from out of town singing somewhere.
Yeah, we just came from Norfolk, Virginia. So my group, we're named Unlimited. When we first came out, we was called JU2, which was the second generation of my mom's in them group. They was called the Johnson Unlimited. And we named the group JU2, in homage to them because we used to be in a group with them, but we used to play fake guitars and stuff like that and be on stage with them. And then we started
Wait a minute, did you say fake guitars?
Yeah, the little plastic, the class act guitars.
Okay.
From like Toys R Us.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna talk about the air guitar. Y'all like
So he's talking about as a child.
yeah. I'm just trying to find. In California when they say fake guitar, they be like air guitar. They can play that mess out of air. Okay.
Air band.
Yeah, so I used to, be on stage with them, and then they stopped singing, and then we was like, let's just start our own group,
Right.
and then we started singing, and then we started back up in 2015. We got a couple of releases out. We got about I think just recently the release that's coming is going to be the 7th release that we have, and we out in New York City, and we're up and coming.
So I got two questions. First question is that you on the shirt or is that somebody else?
Oh yeah, this is actually my
That's
group
the
right
group.
here. This is
Okay, so
Unlimited.
that's the
me.
group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. That's Keith. That's Teddy, and that's Rico.
Okay, all right.
Nice
Everywhere we go,
t-shirt.
we're gonna be together. All right.
Right.
So,
Yes, sir, Doc.
so here's the next question. You
Yeah.
said you grew up as a lane. Tell me the first girl that you wooed by playing.
Oh Lord Jesus. I'm trying to remember, man.
I
It
was
was so
5 years
many.
old.
I had to be at least, I think, really like 14 when I really got into, about 14, and like during that time, this girl really liked me for me, and I was kind of shocked because I was considered,
The lane.
the church kid. He's quiet, don't mess with him. He gonna try to bring you to church, all that. So I was there, I was about 14.
You said again.
I was 14, yeah.
Right.
So you was 14, and she liked you for you.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh man, we we started going on dates because so when I was in high school, this is when I was like ninth grade, like freshman year, right? So on Thursdays we used to have half a days on Thursdays and things like that. So I used to get out at 12 o'clock every Thursday. So she used to sneak and come to my house on Thursdays, and we just have fun, vibe and eat food, watch scary movies and stuff like that.
So are y'all still friends to this day?
No, we're not.
That's another story.
Wow,
We'll go
praise
on to
God for
that.
That's a whole different story, man. We are not.
So who are some of your musical influences?
Ooh, okay. From the secular world, I would say Earth, Wind and Fire. I listen to a lot of old school music.
Because you got an old
Pay
school
homage to a
feel.
lot of old school music. Yeah, I say Earth, Wind and Fire, the Isley Brothers, Temptations, Donnie McClurkin, Keith Boy Johnson, Rance Allen. Definitely, I'm a big Rance Allen fan.
Yeah.
Mississippi Mass Choir, Michael Jackson. It's so many. I can name. It's so many, man. I can name. So when I say so many, Rob, so many, man.
So who would you want to work with, the dead or alive, if you had a chance to do it, opportunity? Who would they be?
Ooh, not gonna hold you. I would say the Whispers. I'm not gonna. That's my favorite group, R&B group.
They bad.
But as far as gospel, Rance Allen, that would be one of the top people that I really would love. That I always wanted to work with because I love his style of music. He got a traditional style,
Yes.
but it's different.
Yes.
It makes it's mainstream, but it's traditional at the same time.
And you know what? He's
Yeah.
always been like that. If you check his history,
Yeah.
he was on secular stations back in his earlier days and performed on a lot of major venues that weren't quote unquote church venues.
hmm
So let me
And I had the God.
go ahead.
And I had the honor to actually play for him one time when he came to New York, and that was like a big honor for me.
Wow.
Because I met him, he was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, Jarod, nice to meet you." He told me the songs. Because Keith, my cousin, he set it up for me because they was real cool at the time and stuff like before he died. So I played for him, and it was such an honor, man.
Well, let me tell you, I had an opportunity when we were at the Stellars to kick it with Keith for a minute. Your cousin crazy.
He is crazy.
Yo, he called me last night.
Yeah, your cousin is crazy. We was in the food court at the Orleans, and he was trying to get his food, and we was starting to clown about the lines and everything else of that nature. You would have thought that we had known each other for years because he's just a really good down home person, but just as crazy and funny.
Crazy as ever, man. He'll have you crying, laughing the whole time you with him, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was on
That
the
dude
show.
is funny.
Yeah, we
We've interviewed him.
Yeah, but let me ask you this question. Now you grew up, and I'm gonna use the word lame again. You grew up as a lame, but now you are a grown man now. What's the message can you tell to every lame kid out there today, every church kid out there today, the ones that they say, is that, what's the message you would tell those young people today?
I would tell him to don't worry about what people say about you.
Exactly.
Always be yourself and never change for nobody but that man upstairs. Only person you got to answer to is that man upstairs. Don't care about what nobody say. Whatever you want to do in life, do it. If you want to be a church person and all that, continue to be that. Don't let nobody discourage you like, oh, you can't be like that. The girls ain't going to like you. Because trust me, people out there love church people. I'm not gonna hold you. And people love people that have morals and things like that. So don't never be afraid to be yourself. So to all my people that's out there that been through what I've been through, coming up as a kid, being talked about and stuff like that, be yourself. Because at the end of the day, tables always turn.
That's
At
right.
the end of the day, the tables always turn.
Yes, they do.
And all the people I grew up with, I'll be looking at them now like, what the heck happened to you, man?
Because you look 90 years old and you're only 30.
I'll be like, yo, you younger than me.
Yes, and when you see them, I think the craziest thing is when you see them, and they trying to count your coins now because
Right.
because they looking at you like, oh man, it's like that
Right.
with you, because a lot of times people have a tendency to overlook those quiet or those people that they would say lame,
Yeah.
and many times those are the ones that become the millionaires,
Yes.
the influencers,
Right.
the people
Those
that
be
make the
head
change.
cornerstone.
Could
Yep,
you
those be the head cornerstone.
yeah, could you imagine all these newscasters that are out there today, that used to practice in the middle? Tonight's daily news, and everybody just
Yeah.
laughed at them, and now
Yeah.
they making millions of dollars doing
And people
tonight's
watching
day-
them.
yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question now. Here, this is another off subject. Beard, COVID driven, or before COVID?
Wait. Say that. Wait, that's that one.
Your beard. Were you rocking a beard
Oh.
before COVID, or did COVID expire the beard?
COVID expired a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna hold you, but the beard, yes. But
Okay.
before COVID, I was not this size. Like my weight, I did not look like it. If you see me last year, you'll be like, "Yo, this is a whole different person." But yeah, COVID, expired the beard. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, because I tell folks everything. COVID. They said, "Oh, I'm not shaving. I'm not gonna do this." I
Yeah.
tried not shaving for 2 days, and it started to itch, and I said, "Oh, the devil is a lie. Where is the razor? Let me go ahead and clean it up."
Yeah, and I snuck into the barbershop. They said you wasn't supposed to be in the barbershop.
Robert, we're on live, and there's people all over the world. Do not get us in trouble.
Yo, Rob, you crazy.
What? It's too late now. It
Robert,
ain't got nothing to do with you.
they-
It was me to
I
win.
know, but they still can come and get you
Come get me for what?
for breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? So they be like trying to find who your barber is and then arrest him.
I'm not gonna tell, and they
Yeah.
can't make me tell. I don't care what they say.
Okay, don't get them in trouble. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're back here. We didn't break any laws. What we were very fortunate to have is we've had private barbers
Yeah.
that
Right.
was able to
Able to
bless
do it
us
and bless
because they
us.
knew that we was on air and we couldn't look any over.
Right, and image is everything to me. You know
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yes.
Right.
Tell him, Rob.
Right.
This is everything.
So let me ask you this question. You're producing. Do you have your own studio? You
Yes.
said you were tired, so that must mean that you just got out the studio.
Yeah, actually, I was actually working on this song for actually Keith, because he's about to release an album soon. I can't really speak on it, but he reached back out to me. He let me produce 2 tracks for him on his upcoming album, and I appreciate him for that.
Where's my
And
song?
huh?
Where's mine that you let me hear that time?
Just let him finish.
Oh, we gotta
You just said interrupt
go
me.
finish it, Rob. We got.
Well,
Yeah,
since-
so last
since you-
year, so I was pretty much working on some release for him, because he was like, "Yo, cuz like I had this stuff done."
Right.
So I said, "No problem,
Right.
man."
So let me ask you a question. Your cousin is Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Have you ever considered writing a song for the Dr. LT and the LTX?
No, I'm not gonna lie. No.
Man, that group right there, I'm trying to tell you, them LTX are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Their harmonies are just.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Robert Earl.
I'm just asking. Someone asked a
Yes,
question.
yes, the LTX are dope.
Oh, when
Yes.
did they come?
I got them from the Raylets.
So when did they come?
He's
When
like,
did
Huh?
they
"Ray
start?
Let."
I just did.
Okay, today.
Yes.
Okay, praise the Lord.
Yes, I'm trying to get a deal.
Oh, do whatever you gotta
All
do,
right.
brother.
So, brother, let me ask you this question. If somebody, on the real was trying to get with you, to get with production or whatever, how can they find you, and how do you select people that you work with?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Jarod Romain Official, or you can add me on Facebook, which is Jarod Romain, or you can contact me 347-909-4957. And the people that that I select to work with is pretty much if you I'm the type of person when I do work, I like to enjoy what I do. I don't like to be under pressure. I don't like to feel like my craft is not being taken serious or whatever. But by me, I just choose to work with people that is easy to work with, pretty much.
Okay.
That's pretty much.
Okay. I'll let the LTS know that don't come in and grand and be. I'll tell them not to be grand with you. You know, because see they come in and they got their own theme music as they walk into the studio. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
bro.
And they got somebody they
Is
you
this a
know
choir
no
that
it's,
marches in?
it's only four of them that they walk in
But
and
they walk in.
yeah they got rose petals being thrown for them and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
maybe,
and then when Dr. LT come in, he actually comes in on the hoverboard.
so maybe you guys should be on Broadway. 'Cause that's kind of theatrical.
So anyway, man, getting back to this, the one thing that we love
Jesus
about
help us.
talking to producers
Yeah.
and talking to people that produce as well as perform is that we love to hear both sides of the spectrum. Which side do you like the best, performing or producing?
I like producing better because it's longevity. Performing only lasts for like maybe an hour. When you produce, it can last a light. You just keep playing it over and over and over and over and over. I prefer producing than live performance any day, man.
Okay. And then my last question, who was the most challenging, I ain't gonna say difficult, but most challenging artist to work with and why?
Well, I ain't gonna say no names, but I will say this though. This experience was dealing with like, somebody that knew me for a while and stuff like that. And, sometimes when people watch you grow up somewhere where you used to be, they tend to view you still as that. They don't view you like how the world would view you when
That's
you
little
evolve.
Jarod. That's little Jarod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a little Jarod. He don't know. I remember when he first started, his mixing, it don't sound right. But then you basing me off some 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It's a whole different. So that sometimes that comes into play because, I work with a lot of older artists. So knowing that, when you deal with younger people, they tend to look at the younger person in a little different way. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. It was just like just the how can I say it? The viewing me as a professional or whatever. Like
Excellent.
Because you work with a lot of quartets. Is that like your forte?
Actually, right, yeah, pretty much. I do a lot of quartet. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of quartet, but I do a lot of other stuff too.
R&B?
A lot of other stuff. R&B. I do stuff
Rap?
for like rap. I be sending stuff to commercials.
You trying to get
gaming music. I be trying to do it all, man.
I said keep going forth. Do everything you want to do because every perfect gift came from God. People will try to put you in a box because you're in the church that you sing this and you sing that. Long as God is giving it to you and you know it's God, who can care less what people think, man? Because otherwise, your whole life will be trying to please everybody, and you won't be pleased, and you won't please God when you're pleasing other people.
Amen.
Yep.
So we just thank you for finally coming on here because he was supposed to come on here a long time ago. I'm gonna tell it.
Long time ago.
And he was like, "Oh no, that's okay," and
So
we're glad he did.
So you didn't want to come on the show, bro?
Oh, cool. Rob,
it's like that.
Yeah, and we've been playing his music for a while.
Yeah, you know one of the things about it, and I will say this because I know a lot of producers are very humble and they're always behind the scenes. But I want you to know the reason why we need you on these shows like this, and I encourage you to do as many interviews as you can, is because there are a lot of young people out there that need to hear your story. They need to know who you are because I always tell sometimes that the life that you live, not only was it for your experience, but it's also for other people that are experiencing the same thing, and you could be that living, walking testimony. So I appreciate you.
And
the
Jesus
reason
loves
I definitely appreciate you guys too. I definitely do.
And the reason why I asked you about all the different things is because everything that you shared with the audience today, they're going to be people that will look at this over and over again and use this as a reference because so many kids out there want to be the in crowd and realizing that they're giving their life away to what God wants them to do.
Yes, giving it all the way away, man.
So, with that being said, brother, could you introduce your song "Victory"? And we are going to rock it right here on God Radio One.
Okay, well, this song that you're about to hear is titled Victory. I released it back in February, featuring myself, Darren Perry, and Malcolm Ramsey. So y'all check it out, and just remember, we got victory, and you have the victory as well.
Right here on God Radio One.
.com.